Still wondering what it would take to know if you have high self-esteem? Think of it this way. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you see a strong, healthy, I can do it person looking back at you? Or do you see something you don't like? Something that you feel like you need to fix? More than likely, that's a product of low self-esteem if you feel like you always have to fix something. But more than likely, if you feel satisfied with what you see, it's a product of healthy self-esteem. What do you hear when someone gives you a compliment? Do you think they just have an ulterior motive? Do you think they're being facetious? Or do you take them at their word? It's only when you actually do good that you feel good about who you are. And this choice must come of your own free will. It can't be forced. You cannot be coerced. It has to be a choice that you made because you felt that it was right. Let me explain. All decisions, every last one of them, comes down to three underlying factors. What feels good? Are you doing what looks good? Or are you doing what actually is good? If you're doing what feels and looks good, then you're eating away slowly at your self-esteem. I'll say that again. If you're doing what feels or looks good, then you're slowly eating away at your self-esteem. Let's go deeper into that. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say when you buy anything, just because it looks good or you feel like it's gonna make you look good, it really means that you're a slave to your ego. And if you're a slave to your ego, then that really means that you're dependent on other people to make you feel good about yourself. You're not free. That's not a free decision. You made it based off of your ego. Your ego does things to feel and look good. Now, if you made a decision based off of what feels good, we just dealt with look good. Let's deal with feel good. Like, for instance, you overindulged in some way, or you stayed home and watched TV when you really felt like you should have went to the gym. Those decisions make you feel good in the moment, but afterward, you feel bad about yourself. You know why? Because it robbed you, those impulses robbed you of your self-control, which means you're not free. You're crave-driven. Cravings are driving you. When you follow and choose what actually is good to you, you feel good about it. And this is due to the fact that you must do good in order to feel good. You are independent only when you choose responsibly and what's right. And when you do that, your self-respect goes up, and then your self-esteem doubles, and sometimes triple. So somebody's saying, how do I increase self-esteem? You have to increase your self-respect situation. Person, you see a wallet on the ground, the license is in the wallet. It's money in that wallet. You need that money, but something is telling you, take it to that person's house. Do you keep the money or do you take it to the person's house? In this case, keeping it may feel good for the moment, but afterward, you're probably gonna feel bad. You made a decision based off of your impulses and cravings. But if you give it back to them, that's the right thing to do, and you get a dose of self-respect, and when you get a dose of self-respect, it doubles your self-esteem. You see? But the higher your ego, just so we can get a picture of this, the higher your ego is, the lower your self-esteem is. And vice versa. The higher your self-esteem is, the lower your ego goes. The more you follow what feels good, the less you feel good about who you are. Lastly, when you follow and choose what is actually good, you feel good about it, and this is due to the fact that you must do good in order to feel good. You are not independent until you're able to choose responsibly and follow that. Just remember this. You can only start nurturing and building on your goals when your self-esteem is nice and healthy.